Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hi. I've been sat here for 2 hours. 2 hours. With all good intentions of starting this stream, but I've been listening to an audiobook which for the last 2 hours has had me literally sat on the edge of my seat and thinking, let me just hear how this turns out. Oh, hang on, let me just hear what happens here. Oh, hang on, let me just finish this little chapter. 2 hours, you guys, 2 hours. So there was a real danger that I was not going to get anything else done today than this audiobook. But randomly, my phone had a little bit of a bleep, paused it, and I was like, right, okay, before I press play on the rest of this book, I'm going to do some Ace Attorney because holy lordy, this game is long. I was looking at what was I looking at? I was looking at the How Long to Beat doo-doos on the Xbox, and 72 and a half hours, between 60 and 72 and a half hours, and I think so far, let's see how much we've racked up so far. Let's check my profile and see. We have racked up exactly 22 hours so far. So I am, at best, a third of the way through. Oi! 22 hours, you guys. 22 hours. Doesn't feel like I've done that many streams for 22 hours worth of gameplay. I'm supposing that does include all of the time where I'm sort of sat there dealing with the dog and whatnot, but still. So let's get some more done, because if I've got 72 hours of this game to finish, I've got some way to go. That is the entirely wrong button. So we're going to get the game up. Oh, I've just realised I can't hear anything on my computer because I've turned my sound all the way down. Smart. There we go. I can hear things again now. Okay, let's load the... Right, okay, this is where we were. The latter trial. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Okay. Mr. Wright. What now? Trials always like this with you, pretty much, dear. Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface. But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. I mean, rude, but yes, pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Oh, our partner. Oh, it's the cowboy dude. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a young'un, at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come and take a look, see how this trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. I mean, okay. Dude, I don't think you should be walking around a courthouse with a knife that big. Gotta be honest. That hard to slip out her? What's going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall, the whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? Uh-huh. Sure. I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. Did she put the muffler in the muffler? What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. What did she do with the scarf? So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken? Well, it's about time. Remember, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Very Star Wars. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? Concrete. Concrete, we're swimming in concrete. This is bad. If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. I could go for ribs. Gotta be honest. We have, what do we got? We've got chicken tikka on tonight. When Kayla gets back from work this evening, it's chicken tikka time. Exciting. Okay, February 23rd. Oh, this is, I'm going to... 12:32 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. How is this going to go? This muffler thing. I don't know how this one's going to play out yet. Rabble, rabble, rabble. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Jesus. Edgeworth. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watering eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're... Oh dear. It can't be. This can't happen. Ooh, my sister just sent us a photo. They've got Grinch Oodies in Tesco's. That's exciting. Okay. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, what did happen, Edgy? Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct a... This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? Hello? What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. It's the pink glasses, isn't it? And the hypnotic eyes. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? That is a good question. It's you. It's who? Hello? Oh. Jesus. Sorry I'm late. Udgy, the roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, huh? Udgy, how you been? Swim much these days? Hello? Hello? No, I've been so busy. Busy, smizzy, Udgy. My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Who are you? Aha, so you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Yeah, thanks. So, sorry about our little Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. What's with the swimming? What's happening here? Little Worthy. Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Is that who you are? Chief of police. He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. Hello, Damon. So, what do we owe this honour today? It's been over 2 years since you last came into this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. He does seem to be having some sort of nervous breakdown. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, this guy really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. But what does this mean? What is this? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call the switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth. How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking. That signature is there, Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'd expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. Same. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defence a favour first. Yes, just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honour? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yeah, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch, and if I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. He's got a good point. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Okay. That's happening without me. Blink, 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 blink. Okay. So, can we look at anything other than the... I'm seeing something. What is this? There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 of DL6 incident fame. But it's strange. Oh, what is I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow. Well, don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain? Blood question mark? Okay, switchblade knife added to the court record. Found at the crime scene, wrapped in defendant's muffler. Wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Okay, department disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection to this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it. What? There was a murder at the police department. A detective? That's hush information, Uji. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Objection!
Oh, wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office? Organised murder, eh? Synchronized murder? Order. Anyway, we at the police department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Okay, very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the evidence that we do have. We're going to look at things properly. Double check everything. Did we... Okay, we looked at that. This is also broken. But that's all we can look at there. So there's nothing on there. 6:15:12:2. There's nothing there. Okay. So I guess we've got to press some of the wording that he's used, I guess. Let's think. He can't say how special the knife is, But will we get any more information out of him on that? Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. What evidence do we have? So we've got an ID. Do we have anything else of Goodman's that we can link apart from the shoe? I don't think the shoe's going to be of much help, is it? So there's some serious fireworks going off. What day is it? Is it Diwali this weekend? What are we looking for? SL9. Let's look at this properly. See if there's anything else that we've missed. Wait a minute. Oh, can we present this? Objection! I'm going to try. Wait a second. At last. An honest to goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? An honest to goodness. What do you mean from Uji? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL9 too. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S 12/2. No, Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing written on that knife's tag. Oh no. Order. Well, Chief? Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? What game is he playing? Ooh. This evidence. Oh no, this knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. It was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Okay, who stole it? Hold it! So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. And it was evidence, you say? Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. Okay, so this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Okay, that was a bad day for the police department. We weren't in... Okay, okay, let's keep pressing, see if we can get anything. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eye there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? Uh-huh. No matter, I understand. You were busy. What with Lana's case and all, I'm so tired. Oh. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. Okay, so can we press this? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested. That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. We know the victim was stabbed. We know that they've already told us that it was the exact same time. So where was the victim found? So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I've heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? So it was stolen and the murder took place in the same place. Okay. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. I don't believe that. Chief, the defence's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Eh? You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. A coinkydink. Come on, Hypno. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deducted right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. The police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Okay, 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. That knife. What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. Okay, this knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Okay, so I've already been told to check the knife out. So let's do that first. We know about the tag. The small tag says okay. So we've done that. What about the blood? No. Oh, was that something I was meant to look at then? Oh, that's just the tag again, filing back through. Okay. Anything? No. We zoom in and look. Okay, I'm not seeing anything, so. The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. We've pressed that statement. It was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do any investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence. I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department. Okay. Can we ask any questions on that? Oh, we already have. Okay. How was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking there. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. The time of the crime, 5:15. 5:15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. But we know that it is. Okay, let's keep pressing, I guess. If you're not going to tell us a little, then if you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ooh. Well, in case information is sticky stuff, you have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to see what I can get out of him. Would it help us to know what do we have? What's the only thing we have? An ID number, a broken trophy, a knife, a parking stub, the blue badger, autopsy report, the victim's note now the right way up, a phone, parking lot floor plans, photo shoot, a knife. Okay, so the only thing that we have is the detectives. So let's ask about the ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't get getting your hopes up. The number is 584 2189. That's awfully the same. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department definitely tells me something. It is the same number. Actually, it does, Your Honour. It does. I think. Meaning, it has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? What does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defence has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? This? Witness. It looks way too smug, and Edgeworth looks bored as all hell. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just I got confused. And this is news. Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. Let's go. The police department, the prosecutor's office, 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honour. I'm a defence attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584 2189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started 82. I've forgotten. Okay, you didn't even get the first number right again. The number the police... The number the chief of police gave us was 584 2189.
Objection!
Wait a second, right? What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, righto, sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Was he though? Yeah, the Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department in the evidence room at the exact same time.
Objection!
That's impossible. So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time and in completely different locations. Order.
Objection!
Okay, no, what I want to know is why I didn't hear about this. Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honour, the police. Why is it I can't say police department without sticking the D in front? The police department. The police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How very dare you? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Yeah, the poor guy you threw at your office, Edgy. Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? We were there? Wait, excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me, he said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
Objection!
But, sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I... Oh, no such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, huh? Well, Mr. Wright. Huh? Oh, well, it's Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over here. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. Oh, dear. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not having a good day, are you? It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumours? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologise for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time. Really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honour. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. Okay, so we've got to go and prove something. Okay, let's save it just in case, okay. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Okay, well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out, or at least try. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Did she just read my mind? Let's go. Science awaits us. Maybe she needs to go and train with Maya. February 23rd, prosecutor's office underground parking lot. Okay. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed there in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Okay. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene. Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that's luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Bloody sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things. Oh, to test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press the enter to spray on. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. Ooh, okay. So we're doing this now. Ooh. Ooh. There's some blood there. We found it. We found it. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a blood stain. It's Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this scientifically? The amount of blood, the location. It's by his hand. Maybe the location. Why the bloodstains? Location, of course. It's elementary. Huh? Why is that elementary? I mean, I would think that if there was a fight, you'd expect some bloodstains here. I suppose you might think that. Come on, Mr. Wright, we're all counting on you. There is something odd about this bloodstain. But if it's not the location of the blood, then maybe it's the amount of blood that's odd. I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to be more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm going to mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah. And this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved my allowance to buy that. Okay, luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Sky. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah. It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? I guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Oh, you're back. I wonder how that nice fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box.
Motion detected at the hizzle.
Mister, you only trust your own eyes, huh? Not bad, you two. This day old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Okay. Oh. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr. But no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. So I'm just going to have a look at who's banging car doors outside my house. It's okay. It's people that live down the street. Just making a lot of noise. Okay. But I was afraid that I wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Actually, that's perjury. So, you know. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honour as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us. But what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes. It was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up. They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go, fired? I felt that I'd found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. I'd say you've got more motive than anyone. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... I'm pretty sure she does, my dear. Okay. So, can we use the stuff? No, not anywhere. Okay. So we have bloodstains now. 1, 3. Is this going to tell us anything new now? That's where we found the note. The SL9 incident. A case that was due for transferal the day of the murder. And the detective in charge of the case was the victim. I wonder what kind of case this SL9 incident thing was. It's kind of hard to guess just knowing the case numbers. Yeah. Edgy's car. That's about as red as a sports car can get. Yep, it's pretty red, all right. The body was found in Edgeworth's car trunk. And the lock on the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Sky choose his car? So what model car is it? I think it's called a sedan or a coupe or something like that. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things. Ooh, sexist much. Maybe it's about time I got my driver's license. Okay, so that's car park BB, block is through there. That's where the visitors park. So Mr. No. Okay, so Emma can't climb over there. This rope. Is it... So we know this. So wait. We've already established that this isn't that true. Okay, the barrel. The famous oil drum. Well, no time like the present. I'll try to kick it over myself. Hiya. That's okay. Don't cry. That Lana Sky must be one strong woman. Okay, so the chances we've had the conversation about the step ladder versus ladder once. The door. The door's locked, we know that much. The gate, cars. We've had all these conversations once, but I'm just checking everything. Okay. So we haven't learned anything really. The divider. The Great Divider. Okay, so we haven't learned, and then the phone that doesn't work. Okay, so she's definitely psychic, right? Here's a question. Can we see? We can't see the muffler from here, can we? No. Okay, so there's definitely something in this photo because we keep talking about it. She's not wearing the muffler. There are 2 oil drums behind her. How many oil drums are actually here? Okay, so there's 2 oil drums. So one's been kicked over. There's a tap. It wouldn't have to be that. Okay. Let's see then if there's anything else to do. Maybe we talk to. Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she even supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gantz say they had arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. Okay. Let's go to the Criminal Affairs Department then. February 23rd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs. Wow. Everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's loft. Ugh, it makes my head hurt. Mine too. Well, first things first, let's go and check out the police department crime scene. Yeah, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Okay. So, February 23rd, Police Department entrance. Oh, it's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I mean, they're not though, they're just standing right there behind you. Suppose it makes sense. The detective did get killed here after all. So the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. She's like a kid in an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Okay. We've unlocked the guard station. Evidence room entrance, guard station. Okay. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime. It sure seems that way. Oh, what's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. I mean, it's Cowboy Dude. Okay. Why is there a noose on the floor? Okay, let's take this one at a time. Look, on the floor, a lasso. It's a noose. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. Okay, so the lasso's not a thing, that's the door. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we'd need someone's permission to go in there first. Okay, computer. It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Yes, we should be able to do that. And then we should be able to see who was in the evidence room when things happened. Okay. Yipes. These sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Okay. Anything else? The dude's clothes. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A punchy? Pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Okay, so we've got a poncho because this swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yar myself. Yar! The cactus got me, Okay, so we got nothing from here. Okay, where can we go? Examine. Okay. We've seen all of this stuff. I can't see that there being anything extra here. Okay. Can we move anywhere? Move. Guard station, criminal affairs. Where should we begin? With that area thing. The mystery of the victim, I guess. How could one man, Detective Goodman, be killed in two places simultaneously? Oh, well, you see... We should go to the police department, the evidence room. I'm not being very useful here, am I? No, you're being very helpful. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, with all those rumours. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. There was that business with him not reading that officer's report. About the killing at the police department, right? The chief of police was right about that. But I can't help but think someone at the police department doesn't like Edgeworth. Okay, so that's some new stuff. Have we got anything we can present to her? Let's try presenting some new stuff. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that note. And on that note, Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know? Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Let's go about it. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. No, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? Okay. Could you take a look at this? You? Yes? You said you wanted some hot tea, right? No, but thanks. Didn't even look at it. You must have to brew the leaves a long time to get a rich flavour like this. We pre-infuse the leaves with steam before brewing. I knew it. So that's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite. The only thing I'm smelling here is wasted time. Okay, so is there anyone else or anything else we can do that's going to get me further here? Think. So should we just present everything? Okay, I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. Okay. Have we had any more? We can ask her about this now. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. Oh. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So, they didn't solve it. On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Cowboy guy. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. Okay, oh, no. I didn't mean to do that. We did this. We know this. We've talked about this. Let's go. Okay, let's ask about Detective Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell? There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie, that's a bit mean. I'm doing really well here. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes? Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch. It does look good, actually. Why is it everybody keeps trying to get me to have steak at the moment? It's making me hungry. Very, very hungry. I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch received from Miss Starr. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Okay. So... Okay. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please, Huh? Wasn't that one steak lunch, please? Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Long time no speak. There's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. Criminal? You mean you heard about the stabbing in in the police department evidence room, right, pal? Yeah, sure did. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention centre, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. Okay, he ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Pun. Okay. Detention center, please. Okay. What do we got? Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Ooh. What was that? So that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I say I was perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, no. Oh, greetings, sir. Well, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins. So you're a guard here at the detention centre? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, he isn't. Is he? You... Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. Wait, what? Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. Okay, let's see what... Ooh, sir, I'm a patrolman with general affairs, sir. Sir. Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station is in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because everything is kept in the evidence. Everything, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Oh dear. What in the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything white, I saw red, I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention centre. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Only it's the opposite hand. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive well at that? Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Bandaged hand. About your hand. Did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But, sir, there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. Okay. Okay, that's given me nothing more to talk to her about. What about here? We haven't been here today. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. And I'm sure it'll still be as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. Okay. Okay. Can we go to the guard station again? Maybe here? Okay. Interesting. Where are we going now? So... maybe we should... let's present him a bunch of stuff. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir. That's it. That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct. That card. That card was the cause of it all. This ID card. Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Okay, does that give me more talking points? Crime details. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. But that's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show you his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My father's words, sir. What happened then? Wow. My eyes, sir, everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. Oops. I didn't want that option. Come on. We've established a bandage. Okay. Reason for arrest. So, Officer Meekins, why was it they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here. They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me. It's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this. I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No, thanks. I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. Okay, so now we've got to go back to criminal affairs. Hey, Miss Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief... It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Ah, righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Can we, help? Is Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Oh, sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boys since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? Doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Sure did, Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court, he fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you, the detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? No, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief detective's trap shut. He was the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Can I get some... Will you give me... I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Ah, sorry, Otto. I'm through with that stuff. Through, I say. Go find that guy that can't seem to sit still out there. The busy one. The guy who can't sit still. Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or the dancing blue badger. Okay. Maybe... Try the guy at guard station. Still nobody here. Maybe we've got to present some other stuff to this guy. Let's try. I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Okay, so it's not that. Maybe... Maybe we look around. These are the detectives' desks, computers and files. Okay. Ooh. Sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the Chief of Police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So, nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, Why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that, just in case. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Okay, so what have we got now? ID. Is that it? Okay. This is police mascot. We've done that one. Police officers. Nothing left there. Okay. Maybe we show him that. I was wondering, can you take a look at this? Sorry, Righto. Okay, so no, we don't want to show it to him then. Interesting. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favour. Huh? Well, I never thought this day would come when Righto asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Maybe? Just a little? No, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate it after all. Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just never goes to show. You never know until you ask. And for you here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir. It's an honour. Just run along and do your best now. Later. Bye. It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we need to go to the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. It definitely sounds like it's a bad influence on the girl. Okay, so we can go to the guard station. And then, oh, do we need to examine the door? The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. The card reader is turned off, see? What's that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, what's made my Bambina sky so great? Hello, dude. Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him? Look for. As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeah, that card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw. Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. Crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you on braids. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambino. I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his six-shooter, I say a little prayer. What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either. Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation pronto. Maybe we should give him the steak. Is it? That's reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What's wrong? A fillet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Okay, so now we can ask him the question. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. Good eyes indeed. It's an easy job and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention centre told her. Ah, that poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. Since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago. Well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyway. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Okay. Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of a crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. Can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transfer rules. Edgeworth was talking about the transfer rules too. Okay. I know what maybe 2 of these machines do in here. Only 2 of them. There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand here are these security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins... Excuse me. So tired, you guys. Oh, and Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, Are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus, the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. Oh. February 20th. So this is the ID record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina, but I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that this record is tied to the stabbing. Probably. Can I look at the things? Can we look? Okay, so what have we got? The record. What about present this? See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID record card again. There it is. Look at the fourth number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. Wait, what does Officer Meakin say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and I asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meakins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Thank you. Thank you. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. It's not a bad idea, I guess. Okay, so we need to know who they are. Maybe I present that to him. The sheriffs back in the Wild West didn't place much faith in evidence. About the only thing they trusted was their shooting hand. This is neither wild nor west here. But this and that are two things in different things entirely. I guess so, huh? I'm lost. Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. Okay, so just 1 second, you guys. I think my dog needs to go outside. 1 second. I'll be back in a moment. Hey. Sorry. Dealing with the dog. You know what it's like. Wants all the things. But we're just gonna finish the rest of this investigation, aren't we, Arch? That's what we're gonna do. Oh no. He's struggling at the minute. He's really itchy. He's having a bit of a tough time, aren't you, mate? We've had the medicated shampoo on now. Okay, so sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferable thing is about? Okay, so we keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out that there was a mistake. See? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see. Yeah. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. Okay, so can we go in the evidence room now, I guess? Evidence room, sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over there. So this is the evidence room. It's really kind of like a graveyard. Graveyard's supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Oh, hello, Gumshoe. Hey. Whoa. Okay. What happened? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50. Even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today. Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence room floor plans added to the court record. Okay, let's talk about this. So, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day. I just need to check something. This is going on a really long time, and I need to do other things. Okay. That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, he got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Of course. I am a detective, after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open. Only you can open. Interesting. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. Let's see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case. Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it using their ID card. Wow, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So only the locker, the only locker we can open is our own. Funny. They look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles. On the other side, the handles, is a sensor. And if the wrong person touches it, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Okay. Interesting. Can I ask you about the, this? Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumours. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder? Whoa. What is it? The second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. What? Second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? Okay. Look, Edgeworth have come to the evidence room. Okay, so we've got that now. So we should be able to see. Okay. We've got some stuff going on. Right. So I suppose we've got to examine stuff now. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. Because it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently. How do you know? If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he doesn't tuck his shirt in under that trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Okay. No problemo. What is this? Wow. Look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Okay. That's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Okay, so all that we've got. Let's just look at the. This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would? Hey, pal. Our security is high tech around here. Okay. Check this out. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here. What a sorry looking fishing pole that is. That's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal, that's the metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gourd Lake, remember? Oh, right, wow. That feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. That cheap-looking box. You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Okay, no problem, not a problem. Exit. That's the door we just came in through. Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out. I wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside. Let's hope he remembers we're in here. I mean, he didn't seem to care that Detective Gumshoe was in here the whole time. Ooh, look. What's this? Blood. It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. It looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use a testing fluid to check it out. Okay. So let's look at this first. Wow. Someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from The Case. The Case. The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You want to try putting it back together? Good luck, pal. It's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on it before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Okay. So we need a raggedy bottom. Can we... How do I... Ooh, hello. Well, that's the top. Right, so... Oh, I need to combine. Okay. So... P. Ah. Can I... Whoa. Okay. Right, so I'm going to leave that there for tonight. I'm going to do this puzzle tomorrow because me and the dog need to cook some rice and get ready for the rest of our evening. So I'm going to save it. Oh, no. We're going to save here, and we will carry on the investigation tomorrow, hopefully. So, as always, thanks for watching. I'm going to go and see if there's anyone we can raid quickly. And then I'm going to sign off for the evening. Because I need to get back to my book, you guys. I'm only ever so slightly obsessed. Okay, so there's nobody to raid, so I'm just going to call it a night. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the follows, all of that stuff. Really appreciated. And I will hopefully catch up with you tomorrow. Bye.